Hello and welcome everyone. It is time for Jim Comics Top Picks for New Comic Book Day this upcoming Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024. There are some really good books coming out this week. I think there's a couple that snuck under the radar here. I'll get into those, what I'm looking at, top picks, some other stuff going on. After my last video, I'm like, wow, what am I going to talk about next week? And now I got so much stuff to talk about, I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit it all in a 15-minute video. I don't want to make these things go on too long. I don't want to bore you to death. But anyways, I hope you're all doing well. I just want to say you're all awesome. And New York Comic Con is going on this weekend, so if you're lucky enough to be there, oh boy, I'm jealous. That's on my bucket list. I got to try to make it to that and San Diego Comic Con one of these days. But got to give a shout out to Nick the Knob. I know I call him a knob every chance I get because, well, I consider him a friend. So I don't have any affiliation with his app. Use it, don't use it, whatever you do, it's up to you. I use it personally. I like it. And this is not a plug for his app. I just want to give him a shout out because I do rag on him all the time, but it's an affectionate rag. So anyways, there you go. I think he's at New York Comic Con this. I'm pretty sure he is. Actually, he said he was. So I hope he has a good time and don't drink too much, Nick. That's all I got to say. Anyways, we'll get into what I'm looking at this week. Like I say, there's some really good books. I'm going to start with DC. Kind of an absolute no-brainers. Absolute Wonder Woman #1 is out this week. A bunch of covers for this one. There's Jim Lee's got a cover. Like all these, there's foils, there's blanks, there's incentive covers, there's store exclusive covers. I'm just getting cover A. That's kind of my deal. I'm not chasing all these incentives unless it's a really nice cover. But that I'm hoping this is as good as Absolute Batman. We'll see. I know she's dealing with coming from hell and all this other stuff, so it totally changed her storyline, which I like. We'll see how it goes. But anyways, that's definitely on my list this week. We got DC Horror Presents #1. There's a bunch of covers for that. Again, cover A is the only one I'm looking at. This next one, Nightwing 119. I hope this is one that you pre-ordered or at least are considering because there's a few covers for this one. I've personally ordered cover A, which is a nice cover, and then cover B is a Dan Panosian cover, and he's putting some really nice stuff out right now. So I got A and B coming. Part of that is, the main reason for that, obviously it's a nice cover, but it's the first issue of a whole new creative team and a start of a new story arc. And there's an appearance of a new villain in this, and it's not. I don't think it's just going to be a one-off villain. This one looks pretty cool. Apparently he's got cosmic ties, so we'll see if he's related. You're going to see a bunch of images on the screen now. There's a 5-page preview they've released. And it looks like it's a full appearance because he's on multiple pages and he's talking throughout. So this is one I think is kind of snuck under the radar. It looks really good. It's got Bloodhaven's Crime Union. So the writer's Dan Waters and then Dexter Soy, Darstar Soy on Instagram. I'd highly recommend you go follow him on Instagram, Death Star Soy. It's got some nice stuff there. So anyways, yeah, Nightwing 119, I really recommend you get that one this week. That one looks really good. And if this character does have cosmic ties, which is how they're touting him, then it's very possible he's going to be sneaking into Batman titles and other titles as well, so highly recommend 119 this week. Got Detective Comics 1090, a bunch of covers for that one as well. You got the first cameo of a vigilante, Asima, as well as a geneticist related to the Waynes, Scarlet Scott, so that's another good one. Like I say, there's a lot of good books. I had to make a list here. So Alien Romulus is out this week. A few covers for this one. There's cover A, which I like cover C, the face hugger with the red background. That just is really cool. And I don't know if you saw Alien Romulus, but there's a human hybrid that shows up in there. And I don't know if you remember this. This Bjorn Barron's cover was just awesome, by the way. This Alien series came out in it started in 2022 and then went into 2023. Artwork's pretty good, and interesting thing is, I've been trying to look into this, but there was this human hybrid that showed up in this human xenomorph hybrid that showed up. Really cool looking. So I don't know. I know there's an Eloise character that's was considered a queen hybrid, but she was a machine xenomorph hybrid, not a human hybrid. So I don't know. maybe other hybrids out there. I don't have every Alien book. I got a lot of them. I got lots of Alien books, but I don't remember there being another one. There may be. Maybe down if somebody knows something, throw something in the comments for everybody. But the artwork in this series, the covers by Barron's, oh god, they're so good. They're just gorgeous covers. I bought them just for the covers, and then of course we ended up getting first appearance. There's number 5, I think, has the Queen, the Alien Queen on the cover. I should have pulled that one out. That's a gorgeous cover too. But anyways, Alien Romulus Annual number 1. That's out this week. I like the Facehugger one if I'm going to get it. Got Iron Man number 1, relaunching that. Yasmin Putri cover A, as you know, gorgeous art from Putri. Always. There's a bunch of couple new armors that show up in there. I don't know. I'm not buying it just for new armors. We'll see. Not a huge Iron Man fan, to be honest. Spider-Boy 12. This is a big one this week. You've got your first appearance in comic of Spider-Girl. They're introducing her, and she's on a couple. There's a Bagley cover. That's the one I ordered. That's got her on the cover. It's her first full appearance in the book too, so that's why I'm getting it. There's a Cho cover. There's a bunch of covers. There's exclusive covers and everything else too. So that's definitely a big one for me this week. Incredible Hulk 18 is out this week, and this is issue 799, which leads into issue 800, obviously the next issue. So I don't know if anything's going to show up in that, but I haven't bought the last few issues of Incredible Hulk, I'll be honest, but I am picking that one up. Yeah, that for sure. And I'm gonna. Oh, talking about Spider-Boy, I'll talk some more about that in a minute too. From Image, we've got Dead Eyes 2. I'm not getting that book, but I'm just bringing that one up just to remember. If you remember, Dead Rabbit was actually the original title of that comic when it came out. So that's cover. Well, that's just the regular cover, and then I got a couple of the 1-for-10s, and then there was only 2 issues before they got recalled. Or actually, there was a lawsuit. There was a restaurant that had the name, a restaurant pub. I can't remember what it was, but anyways, so they had to change the name to Dead Eyes. So having these aren't super expensive, but if you see these Dead Rabbit comics laying around, they're worth grabbing because technically that was a recalled. I can't remember if it was recalled or because by then the books had been out for a couple months, and who's going to turn them back in. But anyways, I think they're good ones to have. I've got them in my collection. I'm glad I got them. This one called The Feeding. Boy, this one looks really good. I think this one kind of snuck under the radar too. The writer's David Boer and the artist is Drew Zucker. And if that sounds familiar, it's because that's the team that was behind Kanto, which came out a few years back, and that one did really well. It's a self-contained story in the vein of Tales from the Crypt, Creepshow, Twilight Zone. It's a one-shot basically. That one I've ordered. It's only cover price. I think it's like $4.99 cover price. So they did have a couple. They had like a Zoop crowdfunding thing, and I think they had 110 subscribers or backers. That was a couple years or a year or so ago. So there are some books out there that were part of that crowdfunding, and then there was a couple of exclusives from last year's New York Comic Con. There was one, and this year's San Diego Comic Con as well. But I think there was only about 100 printed for each those exclusives, so there's not a lot of them out there. So The Feeding, and those were basically ash cans. They were black and white, where this is obviously color. So highly recommend The Feeding this week because, like I say, that's the team behind Kanto, and that's going to be, I can almost guarantee you that's going to be a low print run on that one. There is a 1-for-20 cover of that as well this week, but I don't know how many shops are going to order 20 covers, so good luck finding that one on the shelves. But that's one I'm recommending this week for sure. So my 3 picks this week, pretty good ones too. Nightwing 119, highly recommend that one. It's got a new villain which looks really good. Like I say, it's kind of got cosmic ties. And I really like that Dan Panosian cover. I mean, like I say, I got A and B coming, but that Panosian cover is just, it's really nice. Spider-Boy 12, it's your first appearance of Spider-Girl, all new. There is, I'll get into it in a second. That's my second pick, and then The Feeding is third pick from Image. And like I say, that's going to be a low print. There's only the one cover other than the 1-for-20, and that's the team behind Kanto, so really good. So talking about Spider-Boy, Spider-Boy 13 had, of course, a secret spoiler cover, which we didn't know what the what was going to be on the cover for, obviously, next month. So I pre-ordered that without knowing what it is. I also pre-ordered a John Boy Myers. He's got a variant cover for Spider-Boy 13 too. So I ordered both of those without knowing what it is. And then, of course, last night they released the image for the secret spoiler variant for Spider-Boy 13. You'll see that on the screen. So it's Hulklet. It's going to be her first full appearance in comics. She did have a cover from last year, Sensational She-Hulk #1. There's part of this new Champions variants that they did. Marvel released a whole bunch of covers. I think there was 22 in total last year, back in October. And some of those like Phantasma is one of them, and Hulklet, Moonsquire, Hellrune. There's a whole bunch of them because they're going to be launching that new Champions comic next in January. I think it's just January 8th, if I remember right. I wrote it down here somewhere. But yeah, anyway, but Hulklet, that's, I'm not going to go chase all these comics because I'm not paying. I like to buy stuff at cover price. I like to recommend you guys get stuff at cover price because, man, there's no point in chasing everything. Sometimes it's worth it, but anyways. And I also want to say, don't fall into the FOMO thing. Every single week there's a hot book. Every week. So if you miss 1 week's hot book, oh well, it's okay. Move on to the next week and there will be more hot book. Trust me, there will be hot books coming every week forever and ever and ever. There will always be one to chase. So that's kind of my motto. I try to get everything at cover price. I try to stay on top of things. I try to let you guys know, guys and girls know. And if you can get it for cover, great. Buy a couple copies. It's always worth buying multiples. I always do, especially at cover price. And then down the road, you've got a really good collection. So, but I don't have every comic that ever. I wish I had every key in the world, but I don't. So, anyways, that's just a little bit. I just want to throw that in there. So, I got to talk about real quick. I know this absolute world that DC's launching. It's all about Darkseid, obviously. So, Forever People #1, the first full appearance of Darkseid. Great book, and quite honestly, for what it is, it's not overly expensive. So, if you're looking for a key DC book and you don't have that one, just talking about keys, that's one that, is if you like it, great, but because it's not too badly priced. Because remember, Darkseid is, right? So there you go. Talking about Spider-Boy, I know you know this already. I hope you guys, again, this is one of those ones where you pick them up when they're cover price. I got a couple of those because that was back when Dan Slott posted that thing and said, hey, everybody, go get that book. I know Hulk #1 with Red Hulk has been a hot book lately. That's one I'm going to recommend. If that's something you really want, hold off for a bit because what I'm hearing, the movie is not very good. And that's from test screenings and stuff. People didn't like it, so if that movie tanks, that book's going to drop in value and you'll be able to get it for quite a bit cheaper. So if that's one you're looking for, hold on. I recommend holding off for a bit. Got my Alien. I was watching Aliens just today. Actually, I watched Aliens, and man, it was a good movie. Got a couple of those. Again, this is all back. Get stuff at cover price, folks. Predator. I picked up 3 of those back in the day, just because I love Predator. Buy stuff you like, and you'll do great. And then obviously this one has been a hot book too. First Nightwing and also Origin of Deathstroke. I can't, such a good book. I've talked about that one in the past, but yeah, there you go, folks. Try to get you everything at cover price if you can. And remember, there will be another hot book next week and the week after and the week after that. And man, I'll be here to talk about it. There you go. Anyways, take care, everyone. Talk to you later in the week. Bye for now.